Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on another episode. In today's recipe, we're going to be making a sausage from the UK called Saveloy. Stay tuned. Saveloy is an English sausage that's normally eaten with chips. You can typically get it fried, poached, or even battered. And what makes it incredibly interesting is that it is bright red. Let me show you how we made this English emulsified sausage, Saveloy.
To make Saveloy, let's look at what we're going to be working with. We're going to be starting off with some pork shoulder. I've got some pork back fat, and then some lean beef. I'm using eye of round in this recipe. And as always, we're going to make sure that we chill our meat to where it's just above freezing. And our first grind is going to be on a 10mm plate. Now, pay special attention to how I grind this. This is going to be an emulsified sausage, so we're going to grind our back fat and our meat separate. And you want to keep them separate through this entire process until at the end. We're going to re-chill that and then regrind our fat and our meat separately on a 6mm plate, or you can do it on a 4mm plate. It's completely up to you. Now that the meat has been ground, I'm going to go ahead and add the salt and the cure to the meat itself. Now, the recipe is going to be in the description box below. And once we get the salt and the cure mixed in with the meat, I'm going to put everything in the same tray, cover it, and put it in the refrigerator. By doing this, we're going to allow the salt to start to extract a particular protein from the meat called myosin. And it's going to give us a much better emulsion when we blend it all together tomorrow. It's now the next day, and it's time to process our meat. Now, we're going to be using the bowl cutter on our food processor, and you do want to make sure that whatever blade you have in there is incredibly sharp. Otherwise, it's going to incorporate too much air into the meat, and it's just going to give you the wrong texture. It's going to be more pillowy, and that's not what we're looking for. So my meat is incredibly chilled, and notice that the fat hasn't gone in there yet. And we're going to go ahead and pulse this until we achieve a nice smooth consistency. About halfway through, I'm going to begin by adding ice because we want the temperature of this paste to still be relatively cold. I want it to be in the low 40s. After a minute or two of mixing, we've got a nice smooth paste, a lot of protein's been extracted, and now we're going to add our fat and more ice. We're going to continue to chop this until the temperature gets up to about 55 degrees, at which point we're going to add our seasonings and our binder. And then we're going to continue to mix. So we're going to add a little bit more ice towards the end of this particular process. And now we can go ahead and put it into our casing. For this Saveloy, we're going to be using sheep casings from the sausage maker. Their casings are grade AA, which means they can hold up to emulsified sausages. And I think we're going to use the 22-24mm. And be sure to stick around for our video on the different types of casings that are available so that you can pick which ones are right for you. When working with small diameter casings, you want to take your time, nice and easy. You want to make sure that you apply very little pressure and allow that meat to just pull the casing directly off of your stuffing horn. A sausage stuffer is going to give you the best texture as it's going to keep the meat nice and cold, whereas a KitchenAid stuffing attachment or a grinder stuffing attachment is a little too aggressive. So now our Saveloys are stuffed. Let's go ahead and cook them. Saveloys have a uniquely red appearance. So we're going to add some red food coloring to the water we're going to be poaching our Saveloys in. It's 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to be cooking these for 1 minute for every millimeter that our casing is wide. These are 22-24mm casings, so we're going to cook these for between 22 and 24 minutes at 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we're done, we're going to immediately put that in ice cold water to stop the cooking process, and now it's time to eat. We're going to be eating this with a side order of chips, and instead of re-poaching my Saveloy, I actually deep fried it, much like you would see at a fish and chips shop. So the texture of the skin is going to be a little bit crispier, and let's see how it tastes. Amazing. It's herby, it's flavorful. There's a beautiful snap that comes with utilizing sheep casing, and with the chips, it's a perfect combination.
Okay, this particular sausage is really tasty. It's got a nice herby flavor. We used sage as a prominent herb, but you could use rosemary or thyme if you'd like to. It also has a great texture, like an elegant hot dog. Because we deep fried our Saveloy in the same oil that we cooked our chips in, It gave the outer coating a nice crispy bite. The inside was nice and tender. It was very juicy, and it was a great sausage. In the description box below, I'm going to put a detailed recipe on how to make this emulsified sausage. You are going to need special equipment, and it's not really a sausage for beginners, but you know what? I say give it a go, because the only way you can get good at making sausages is by practicing. If you've got any questions about the process, or about anything in general, leave it in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same time, same place. We got a brand new video and a brand new recipe. We'll see you then.